Alright guys, Bandit here doing a commentary, and it's going to be about education and getting a job. I saw a thread on Deserto which kind of gave me the idea of doing this commentary, and I'll put the link to that in the description if you want to go and check it out. Where I'm at now is I finished college in the summer and I didn't go to university, which I'll get into explain that a bit later. So I've been looking for a job since. I've applied for about 200 jobs and had one interview which I didn't get the job for. So when I went to the interview, they kind of said, oh yeah, when we saw your CV we thought you might be suited to a different role or more qualified for a different role in the company which wasn't advertised. So already I thought that was a pretty positive thing to hear. The interview itself I thought actually went really well, but I have nothing to compare it to because it was my first ever interview. And at the end they showed me around the whole place, and I thought that that's a thing they wouldn't really do unless they were genuinely considering giving you the job. So I left that interview with a pretty positive feeling, and obviously I ended up not getting the job. The email I received said something like, thanks for coming for the interview but you've not got the job. They didn't really give me any feedback or tell me why. The only thing I think of is just that someone with more experience, someone that's actually had a job before, went for an interview. But that's what it's all about really, just having experience and who you know for getting a job. So in regards to the thread I was talking about, throughout school and college I've always managed to achieve relatively good grades, providing the amount of effort and work I've put in is near enough nothing. If anything, I should have failed every exam ever if the grades you get is reflected by the amount of work you do. I don't really think Xbox or gaming has too much to do with my complete lack of motivation for education. It's obviously played a part at times where I've chose to play Xbox or something over doing homework or delaying my coursework because of it and things like that. But my thoughts are that there's always something else that would replace it. Even if I didn't play Xbox or competitive gaming, there's always be something else that I would choose to do over like work and stuff. And there has been times where I've actually not played for months or quit for a while and took a short break, and I've still just not been motivated at all, and there's always been something else to do. Some people are probably thinking like, oh yeah, you're stupid for kind of wasting potential to get the grades you could have got and not doing your work. But it is something that I do regret now, but at the time I found it so much easier in school and college to just sit there and chill out with mates and have a laugh rather than getting on with my work that's actually going to help me out later in life. It's like my mum always used to say to me, it's better to get on with it now whilst you have nothing else to worry about, like a job or other things. And my mum and dad never really were the sort of parents to force me to revise and do things that I didn't want to do, because I knew people at school and college where their parents were kind of always pushing them to revise and get all their work done and stuff like that. And my mum and dad were kind of more relaxed and let me make the choices I wanted to make, which I'm glad they really did that and didn't force me into doing things I didn't want to do. But I did make some pretty bad decisions. So yeah, the thing that kind of made it worse was just that it was so easy to be like that and have that sort of attitude. I mean, obviously in like primary school, my mum would take me to school and pick me up and stuff, so I'm always going to have like pretty high attendance, and at primary school I actually did really well. I know stats are meaningless, and at the time they actually put like a lot of emphasis on them, but yeah, it was really in year 8 or 9 at secondary school when I decided that I was going to start biking to school with a few other people, and that's kind of when it went downhill, because that makes it my responsibility to turn up to school. And I'd always been pretty bad at getting work done in class and getting homework and things like that done, but the fact that my attendance was now going down kind of affects it even more. And it wasn't really too bad at secondary school, but it was really when I went to college, it was just so easy to continue with this attitude and for it to get worse, because at college you're no longer in compulsory education, and the teachers kind of have the attitude that if you don't want to work then you don't have to be here, so you just go. And like especially at my college, it was so easy because we have something called Sentinel, which I'm not sure if anyone else has that at their college. It's like a register system where you get an ID card and you just swipe into your lessons. So it's basically you do the register for yourself of whether you've attended. It was just such an easy system to abuse. Like, you just go to the room where your lesson was 10 minutes early and just swipe your card, and it'd say that you were there for that lesson. So like the main times I would do it and other people would do it was just say if you had a lesson and all your mates were on freeze and you wanted to go and do something, you would just do it then. Or if you had like one lesson that you really couldn't be asked to go to before you could go home, then you would just swipe into that lesson and just go. And another thing that really made it easy was the fact that during my time at college I was always the last one out my house in the morning, so I could kind of just sometimes literally just not be asked to go into college at all. And you had to ring in sick for college. Like, you don't have to get your mum or someone to ring up like you would in secondary school. You just ring up yourself and say, oh, I'm ill, I'm not going to be in today. Because again, it's not compulsory education, you don't actually have to be there. And what made it even easier was like, my mum didn't really know like my college times anyway, so I'd just be like, oh yeah, I don't have to be in until 12 tomorrow. When it'd be like 3 in the morning, she'd be like, why are you still up? I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't need to go in tomorrow. And my attendance did really suffer quite badly at college because of this. And obviously I'm not trying to like blame the college system, it was all choices that I made, but it was just so easy to kind of do that. Obviously at college your teachers will still get onto you a lot about doing your work, especially your coursework and the important parts, and I had a lot of complaints from my subject teachers to my form tutor about not getting my work in on time. And I'm not even gonna lie, to be honest, I probably would have failed college completely without the form tutor that I had and the subject teachers that actually did seem to care quite a lot. And my subject teacher was always emailing my mum, like moaning about me, getting my mum to moan at me for like not doing work and stuff. And I ended up going on college report a lot of times, and then the one after that, which was college agreement, and then it ended up getting really bad. I got put on a thing called contract, where it was pretty much at the stage, if you don't get your work handed in now, then you're just going to get kicked out of college. And this was kind of right near the end of my second year. Well, not right near the end, but towards the end. I kind of just tried to put my ideas up a bit and get motivated and do quite well. It's just, for me, like, here's an example. In my first history exam in the second year, I got 92 out of 100. It was the highest score in my class and in all the classes in the college. And that meant I only needed 68 in the second exam to get an A overall, and I ended up getting 66. And this exam that I got 66 in is pretty much the only exam I've ever bothered to revise and prepare for in my life, and I just completely flopped it. I mean, 66 was still a C, and overall I got a B in history, but that one exam that I actually revised and prepared for, I just did terribly in it. Revision is just something that I personally cannot do. I just sit there for about 5 minutes staring at a book, reading it. Nothing goes in. Like, I just doesn't help me at all. I decided after, well, not after college, throughout it, that I just wasn't going to go to university. Mainly because I thought that I would just end up failing, because I'm just not a motivated person to do work. I thought it would just end up being a massive waste of money, and the thing that kind of influenced my decision a lot was just the fact the fees tripled. I thought it'd just be a big waste of money. I had a university fund saved up, so I would have been fine to go if I wanted to. The main thing as well was that I actually had no idea what the fuck I actually wanted to do at university, and I was in the same situation when I went to college, and I just chose subjects that I thought I'd enjoy for college. And this was probably the biggest mistake I made of all, as I chose photography, graphic design, media studies and history, which all involved massive amounts of coursework. That was just a bad decision on my part. I didn't really think that through. and I wish I kind of just stuck to academic subjects like maths and sciences, which I'd always done well in the past and were always more exam based. Anyway, I'm planning on going to university next year. I'm still unsure what for, but I've achieved grades which will easily get me into most unis, so it's just a matter of figuring out what I want to do. And in the meantime, I obviously need a job, which I'm trying to get one, but it's just not going well at all. So I hope you enjoyed the commentary. It's something different to what I normally do. I don't really talk about real life things often in commentaries, so I hope you enjoyed the commentary, guys. Peace.